Yo everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins. Whew! All the tension suddenly drained from my body as I sank into the sofa. Uncle, are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. I was just a little nervous. It was a little late, but I took some anxiety meds out of my pocket and swallowed them. Uncle, you knew that Kirimoka girl, didn't you? Huh? She could tell? Seriously? When did that happen, Okuin? Why did you think so? I could tell by looking at you. I guess you have to be pretty sharp to survive on the battlefield. No, I don't know her. Did you know her in the Alpha War line? Okay, I won't ask any more, but I'll do my best to keep an eye on her. That's enough, for now. What are you guys talking about? I got nervous is all. I understand that. She's hot, has giant boobs, great proportions, and she even wears glasses. You can't help it. That's right. If she was part of my life now, I would have just used her as best I could. Maybe it was because she was gone now, or maybe it was because of the anxiety meds. But I'd calmed down enough to start thinking that way. Of course, who knew if I'd feel the same way the next time I saw her, face to face. Maho! The Japanese office of the Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization in Wako City, Saitama. Maho Hayajo had tried her best to hold back a yawn, but in the end she gave up and opened her mouth so wide it covered well over half her face. One reason was that she'd gotten caught up in talking to Krisu last night, and only ended the conversation after it was late into the night. At first, they'd been discussing the research and experiments she'd been doing, but at some point she'd gotten sidetracked and talking about Okabe Renato. Eventually, evidently, he'd been ignoring the calls from Krisu for the last few days. Krisu was much madder at him than she was when he'd ignored her the first 8 times. It was the first time of femininity that she'd ever seen from Master Krisu. It was cute enough that Maho didn't help but take the chance to get back at her for all the teasing she'd always did, but ended up staying up late, a lot later than she intended. And since she was too energized to sleep by that point, she got out Chris's laptop. She started to fiddle with it to see if there was some way to crack the password, and the next thing she knew, it was morning. Password, huh? Maybe it would be better to ask a professional. What's up now? Ah! She suddenly heard a voice behind her and almost jumped out of her chair. Is it really that surprising? Professor, you're back! Just now? He raised his hands and showed her some plastic bags from a nearby convenience store. He had gone to get lunch just 10 minutes ago, and she'd been sure he wouldn't be back for a while. You know, Japanese convenience stores have so many foods to choose from. It's truly wonderful. You can eat different boxed lunch every day, and a week later you'll have a new one to choose from. And each store's got their own flavour, so you can get your food from them every day if you want. If you keep eating boxed lunches from convenience stores, you're gonna get fat. It's still healthy compared to American food. Also, I don't think you have the right to lecture anyone about their eating habits. Point taken. He was right. Nutrition wasn't an important consideration for Maho. In fact, she ate mostly cereal and meal replacement shakes, which made her diet very unhealthy. By the way, What do you want to ask a professional for help with? Oh, that? It's nothing. It wouldn't bother her if Moonskin found out, but for some reason she decided not to tell him. A wise decision, might I add. Yeah, is there anything I can help with? I will. Thank you. I may take you up on that. She stood up and headed for the door. Maho, where are you going? I'm going to Akibara to get some fresh air. That's a long way to go just for some fresh air. If you just admit that you're going to see Lintaro, I'll permit it. It's not like that. It's not? I might go see him while I'm there. Okabe had a laboratory in Akibara. Chrissy had told her that last night. She said something about how he'd been avoiding it for a long time, and only recently started going there again. Mao was a little interested in it too. Just so we're clear, it's not like that. It really isn't. I haven't said a word. Anyway, I'm taking the day off. Tell Lintaro I say hi. See, even though he's essentially, I don't know if he's the main antagonist, but he's an antagonist nonetheless. I still like him. He's cool. I do honestly believe him that he wants to be friends. It's just he holds his morals, his other job, above that. He's a professional like that. Respectable. Anyways, first Krista and now the professor. Why did they have to keep trying to make everything about romance? And anyway, isn't that called sexual harassment these days? For one thing, she wasn't going to Okabe's lab just to visit him. She wanted to see him again and see if she could get any hints about the password. He had said he didn't know, but he'd probably be able to come up with more than she could on her own. That was what she thought after seeing how he interacted with Amadeus. You could call it woman's intuition. She was thinking about that when she changed trains and got off Akibara Station. She felt like someone was watching her and spun around. It was a weekday, but the station was crowded. She looked around at all the people, but none of them seemed to be paying her much attention. I must have imagined that, right? She whispered to no one in particular as she started to walk again. Chris had told her the location of the future gadget lab. She wasn't very familiar with the layout of Akibara, but if she needed to, she could ask her for directions. But what if she came in and announced and Okabe wasn't there? That bothered her a little, but she decided she could just leave if that happened. Her eyes lingered on the junk parts lined up in the bins at the shop as she walked when she felt someone looking at her again. But when she turned around, she didn't see anyone. She started walking again and then went around a corner into an alley. And then she was sure of it. Footsteps. She could hear them behind her. Of course, it was nothing special. She would often be out walking at night and hear footsteps behind her. She'd speed up her pace only to see an irritated man walk past a moment later. But this time, for some reason, she was sure it wasn't that. She decided to try and walk faster and found the footsteps went faster too. When she went slower, so did they. Whenever she saw a scene like this in a movie, she imagined that she'd just kicked the guy in the face. Now that it was actually happening, she was too scared to turn around. She fumbled in the phone in her pocket. The idea of calling the police never occurred to her. The only thing she thought of was the name of the man she was trying to meet. She picked it out of her call history and pressed the button with trembling fingers. Please. The footsteps overlapped with the sound of ringing. Okabe, help. The footsteps were almost on top of her. Just when she couldn't take it anymore and was about to start running. Hello? She heard the voice coming on the other side of the phone. Hello, Okabe. It's me, Haijo. I'm right next to your lab. But she didn't get to say another word. By the time she realized that someone had grabbed her from behind, the phone had already slipped from her hands. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. What's this? Oh, okay. Hopefully this is before he gets the phone call. I asked Mocha as I took the papers she offered me silently. She contacted Dara about 10 minutes ago and told him she was on her way to the lab. And then she arrived right at the time she said she would. She must be very close when she contacted him. What was she going to do if no one was here? Report. Evidently it was a report about her investigation thus far. The stack of papers was shaking a little in her hands. I still felt some unease when Mocha was in my presence. Maybe it's just because of the anxiety meds I'd taken right after she said she was coming, but I was still doing a lot better than yesterday. Uncle? I guess it really isn't going to be that easy to find her. I see. She must have expected something at the She must have been expecting something, at least a little. There was obviously a tone of disappointment in her voice. Kagari, where are you? And what are you doing? With no way to answer her, I just silently flipped through the pages of the report. What's up, Okuin? Find something useful? Not really, but let me see. I handed the report over to Suzaha without complaint. I pointed to the part that interested me with my finger. My investigation has revealed one interesting fact. Over the past 1 to 2 months, it seems another party besides ourselves have been searching for Kagari's Shina. What does that mean? Just what you read. Which meant... Oh, I wonder what this is. Normally I'd just ignore her and call back later, but... Sorry, can I take this? For some reason I had to answer. That's what I felt like. Hello? Hello, Okabe, it's me, Haijo. She sounded like on the verge of panic, and my voice naturally rose to match hers. What's wrong, Haijo? I'm right next to your lab. Immediately afterwards I heard something like a struggle and then something hitting something else. Haijo? Haijo, what's wrong? And then there was only silence. Okuin, what's wrong? For the tone of her voice, it was obviously something bad had happened. Get Suzaha to help, please. Someone's attacking this girl I know. Wait, seriously? Which girl? But I didn't say the answer to his question and grabbed the nearest thing that could serve as a weapon and ran out the lab. She said she was close to the lab. She's coming from the station and had chosen a route that not many people would go down. She was probably the alley directly in front of the lab. I saw someone there. They were tall and slender, and I could see a tiny silhouette struggling behind them. That was... I knew it. The only girl I knew that size was Maho. Stop it, let me go! Oh. I think I know where this is going. What's with that face? Someone had grabbed her and she was trying desperately to escape. Haijo! Huh? It's Judy? Julie? The person holding her turned in surprise at my voice. A woman? It was only when I realized it was a woman that I see, and that she wasn't Japanese. Okabe? Hey, let go of Haijo. I like how even her foot's come off. She's not even wearing the same slippers. God damn it, Maho! Same kinds of shoes. Did she not understand me? No, but she should have been able to guess what I was getting at. Let her go. I tried to strike a threatening pose with the weapon in my hand. I finally realized that what I bought was the silent saber. Still, it would serve as a bluff. I'll say again, let her. It's not like that, Okabe. Huh? It wasn't? It wasn't like that? The woman let go of Maho and smiled. She walked towards me with her arms open wide.
Are you Maho's boyfriend?
Are you Maho's boyfriend? Huh? What? Wait. Before I could ask what was going on, she wrapped her hands around my back and gave me a firm hug. I told you he is not. I had no idea what the hell was going on, but the two soft objects pressed into my chest kept me from moving. The real question is, where's Suzuha? She just left Okabe. Then you know her, Haijo? I'm sorry, it was my mistake.
I'm Judy. Judy Reyes. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Okabe.
I love Japanese people trying to speak English. It's probably just as hilarious as it is hearing English people trying to speak Japanese. For English-speaking people, I should say. I'm Judy Reyes. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Okabe. The woman named Judy Reyes offered me her hand. A broad smile like the sun itself. Nice to meet you. Okay. Japanese will do just fine. Huh? What, you speak Japanese, Professor? Yes, actually. I had no idea. Why? When a girl gets to be my age, a lot happens. Her mischievous winks look pretty good on her. Anyway, I'll introduce myself properly. Judy Reyes, nice to meet you. I return her handshake. Okabe Minato. Professor Reyes says she came to Japan for an AI conference. She's a professor at Victor Condiria. I research psychosociology. It's the intersection of psychology and biology. In other words, she researches how the activities of the brain affect the inner workings and disease of the mind. Diseases. In a sense, her research is a lot more useful to humanity than ours. That's not true. Depending on how it turns out, your Amadeus could turn into an incredibly useful piece of technology. It makes me happy to hear you say that. In short, Dr. Reyes had happened to see Maho on the streets of Akihabara and decided to surprise her by grabbing her from behind. Still, that's pretty mean of you, following me all the way from the station. I followed you? From the station? That's right, you followed me the whole time, didn't you? No, I didn't. I happened to see you from the shop over there and decided to surprise you. Huh? Maho only just relaxed when Dr. Reyes' answer drained her face of its colour. Hey, Ryojo, someone followed you? Yes, that's what I felt like. Did you see anyone suspicious? Dr. Reyes denied it with a unique shrug that foreigners always do. Took me a moment to realise what they were on about. I looked back over the alleyway, but of course I didn't see anyone. I must have been mistaken then. I'm sure you were. Japan is the safest country in the world, right? Was it? What are you going to do now, Maho? Reyes seemed to sense something in Maho's silence. I see, alright. I'll be on my way then. We should talk sometime in Tower. Bye! Okay. She gave me a meaningful wink as she left. The station was in the opposite direction. Should I have said something? I got a strange sense that she was fooling me out, but it seemed like a waste of time to resist. This is Hayajo. You remember me telling you about how I met her at this seminar, right? Sorry for all the fuss. I ended up taking Maho back to the lab where everyone was waiting for my return. Suza had actually gone out to look for me, but evidently by that time I was already gone. Well, I'm glad it was nothing. After I gave an introduction and explanation, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Mao seemed to want to ask a lot of questions about the lab, but I had something I had to finish first. Sorry, where were we? We were talking about another grouping looking for Kagari-tan. Yeah, that's right. Is that true, Kyori? It's true. I looked down at Mocha's report, where she'd written all the details. She even hired a private investigator to check it out, which meant it was probably true. There's no chance it was Suzuha? I thought of that, but some of the people looking for her were men, some were even foreigners. Foreigners? Why would they be looking for Kagari? I'm the only one with any connection to Kagari in this time, so why would anyone... Could it be Seren? Maybe Seren realized that she was from the future and had gone looking for her. But if that was the case, then Maho would have to know about it. No, the rounders were all given their orders individually, so it makes sense if she didn't know what the others were up to. Kagari Shio has been here for 12 years. She must has to have met some people during that time. More like she couldn't survive that long without someone's help. That's true. In other words, what this report is telling us, someone who knows who Kagari Shina is has started looking for her recently, for some unknown reason. That means at least until recently she was alive. Oh, that's right. Unless they could time travel like Suzuha. If they were looking for her, that meant they'd known where she was until she disappeared. If people had started looking for her in the last few months, that meant she'd been alive until then. There was nothing else to be learned from Mocha's report. What will you do? Shall I continue the investigation? If people were looking for Kagari in Akibara, that meant she might still be here. Alright. Mocha took her payment for the work she'd done so far and left the lab. Daru had paid the bill. It seemed like when his future daughter was in the stake, he was willing to spend money. You looking for someone? Mao had been looking around the lab with interest. Yeah, just a girl I know. It worried me that some of the people looking for Kagari Shina weren't Japanese. And we've got a message online. Oh, Queen, what time are you getting home? Something going on. Huh? I feel like that is the best answer. I met your mom and she asked me to cook tonight. She has to go to the meeting for the shopping street and she wasn't sure what to do for dinner. So Mary, she said she would do the cooking and she said it was okay. Are you sure you're busy too, aren't you, Mayuri? You don't have to do it. It's fine, I'll make something good. Come home soon. I see. Really? Seriously? I'll be waiting. Oh, Mayuri. She's so adorable. One thing I like about this as well is there's not so much time skips. Like, we're still in December. It worried me that some of the people looking for Kagari Shina weren't Japanese. Even outside of Seren, there are people all over the world who would jump at a chance to learn more about the time machine. If they somehow learned that Kagari was from the future, and that meant she was caught in some kind of trouble... Right, Ocarine, give me the KWSK on Haijuoshi. Net slang for short. Net slang shortening for Kuwashiku, or give me the details. Use when you want more information about something. Kuwashiku.
詳しくって言われて
I
も
already told you everything there is to know, though. She was Dr. Linskin's assistant, and both she and the professor had been very good to me. I was helping with her work a little. I told him all this before. For example, is there going to be a super development where she suddenly becomes a lab member? In a game, anime, novel, oral, etc., refers to something that happens which completely ignores the plot and foreshadowing that occurred up until then. The super development instead takes the story in a completely new direction, similar to the phrase Deus Ex Machina. These completely unexpected plot developments leave viewers bewildered and struggle to keep up. Like, I don't know, suddenly ended up in a world line where Japan has been invaded, or, you know, this whole conversation now suddenly happening. Oh, this game. I love it.
ないだろ
Probably not. Then, can I at least call her Maho-tan? Actually, I'm gonna. Maho-tan? Huh? Did I get your name wrong? That's not it. It's just a weird thing to say. But you're Maho-tan, right? Maho-tan? Don't you agree, Ocarine?
俺に振るの
Don't ask me. Just don't call me that. But I refuse. He never changes, does he?
それで冷や
So anyway, Hirjo, what brings you to the lab today?
どうして選ぶの
Did I tell you about this place? Amadeus told me. There was something I wanted to talk to you about, but forget it. I got to see this mysterious laboratory, and it looks like you're all busy.
ひょっとして
Was she mad? Yeah, she was really ticked off. She says you're not picking up her calls. That's exactly what I expected. Yeah. What? 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 What are you talking about?
別に浮いた
Nothing involving romance. Cool it, man.
するなんて
Is it really bothering you after all, Okabe? If you want to stop being a tester, you can. No, that's not it. It's just... I hated how we're starting to feel dependent on her. Talk to her sometime. If you ever feel like it. She's lonely.
分かった
Okay. The word lonely made my heart ache a little. But even so, I didn't talk to Krisu that day. And you skip a couple of days. Several days passed since Mocha had given her report. I checked last night, and evidently there was nothing new to say. She had her deadlines for magazines, she said, and couldn't spend a lot of time on it. The other group of people who were searching for Kagari Shia concerned me, but I couldn't ask her to prioritize it over her own work. Whew, Mayushi is very disappointed. Hmm?
もしかして
Is this about the Christmas party?
の話か
Yep. Kaede and Fubuki are both busy? Really? Her first is at work, and Nea is going to spend it with her dad. Dao said he's going to have fun with Yuki. Well, at least... What? Why is things so different? Ah! I don't know what's happening here anymore.
結構なことじゃないか
That's a good thing, isn't it? I heard that Suza had gone through a lot of work to set that up. She was always complaining that Dao wasn't making his interactions clear with Yuki. From Suza's perspective, her own existence was at stake. Even if it was already fated to happen, something still might interrupt it. More than anything, she probably wanted to see her mom and dad get along in this peaceful world. If something came out of this, it'd probably make her feel better.
参りもクリスマスは家で
You sure you don't want to spend Christmas with your family? Your dad was reserving the cake.
ケーキを予約してたぞ
You met my dad?
家の近く
I ran into him near my house.
前よりをびっ
He was all excited because he was serving a big cake to surprise you. Wow, way to go and spoil it, Ocarine. I see. Maybe I should do that. Oh, but don't tell me, don't let him know I told you. It's supposed to be a surprise. Yeah, okay. But what are you going to do for Christmas? I guess I don't have any plans. My family never did stuff like that.
そういうことする家でもないし
The guys at school were having a men-only drinking party, but I hadn't been invited. I kept telling them she wasn't, but they insisted on thinking that Mayu was my girlfriend. Some of them had it out for me because of that. Didn't you say that one year you asked Santa for a present and the next day you found vegetables under your pillow? Yeah, there's obviously stuff left over from the day before. When I went to complain, my dad yelled at me and told me we weren't Christians anyways. Honestly, I'm amazed I actually grew up alright. Did you? Really? Well, if you could call how I ended up alright. Once Christmas is done, there's Karima, and then New Year's. The years just flies by. You're right. If it hadn't flown by for me at all, I'd gone through the same span of days over and over again. For me, this year has been unimaginably long. Oh, I know. Hey, Ocarine, since we can't have a Christmas party, how about a New Year's party? We can all go visit the shrine and eat oshi and say Happy New Year's. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Right. Okay, then I'll ask everyone later. Mary stood up to go. Okay, Marisha's about to go shopping. Shopping? Yep. I need some props for Fubuki's cosplay. I see. Take care. Okay. Oh, right, Ocarine. Lukaku wanted to talk to you about something. Oh. That's right, Lukaku had called me. After that, Mocha had come in, and so much had happened that I'd forgotten. Knowing Lukaku, since I told him I'd call him back, he'd probably been waiting for me this whole time. Ouch. Got it. I'll get in touch with him. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Maya popped on her coat, waved, and went out the door. Alright, I should get in touch with Lukaku. Boop. Yes. Sorry about that, dude. Lukaku isn't picking up. Oh well. I have to send him a line. I'm glad they gave me the option. I typed my message and sent it. Sorry, I forgot all about yesterday. And then I waited for a while to respond to come back. There's no sign of him even reading a line message. Was he busy with something? For a moment I thought of going to the shrine and see, but if he was busy, I didn't want to bother him. Oh, I feel really worried now. He'd contact me when he had time. Just when I was thinking about that, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs outside the lab. It didn't sound like Daru. Daru's steps were a lot heavier. Come in. Ah! Hello. Lukaku. Good, Okabe, I'm glad you're here. It was Lukaku, the boy I'd just been trying to get a hold of. Sorry, I totally forgot, so I just called you. Huh? Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. I didn't notice either. He looked guilty as if he'd done something wrong. No, it's fine, anyway. You got to be called. Come in. Oh, sure. But he hesitated. He seemed distracted by something behind him. So, Okabe, I was going to talk to you about something. But first, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Is that okay? I'm worried about who it's going to be. Someone you're going to meet? Well, Lukaku moved slightly to the side. A girl appeared behind him. Hello? What? Impossible. The girl there was... Krisu? Nice to meet you. Well, it's not hard to guess who that is. She even has the same pose as Krisu, which is kind of entertaining. Thank you. I offered a cup of tea and poured it out of a plastic bottle. And then she thanked me in a voice that was almost impossible to hear. For my part, it was all I could do to keep the hand holding the cup from trembling. I took another good look at the girl sitting across from me. She looks just like her. Not like Lukaku. The girl in front of me looked just like Krisu Masuke. Her brown hair, his slightly slanted eyes, her unconcerned expression. Right now, there was no sign of her strong-willed nature, but other than that, they were identical. Well, the hairstyle isn't. When I first seen her, my heart felt like it was going to stop. But on closer inspection, some parts were different, like the size of her breasts. Was she about our age? She looked older than Lukako. I knew Lukako had a sister. Could this be her? She had quite an air about her that seemed similar to Lukako, but I thought I remembered hearing that Lukako's sister was actually quite cheerful. Okabe? Oh, nothing. So, Lukako? Lukako? Oh, excuse me. That's just what I call him. Since, you know, he looks like a girl. Ouch. I just realized that was a pretty rude nickname. But it was a habit now, and there's no changing it. I see. Her expression softened just a little. She really did look like her. I took a shallow breath and forced myself to relax. So, Lukako, who is this? Well, remember how I told you my dad has a visitor staying? Yeah, you told me. Is this her? Yes. That's a surprise. That was a surprise. I thought your friend of your father's would be older. Oh, no. Well, precisely, someone my dad knows bought her. Oh. So this wasn't the person who was talking about Umi. That made me feel better. So I wanted to talk to you about her. Before that, can you tell me her name? It's hard to just keep saying her. Her face clouded. Did I say something wrong? Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Well, how can we find out who this girl is? It took a moment before I understood what he said. Wait a second, Lukako, what do you mean? She's got amnesia, she says. Amnesia? That's right. Then she doesn't even remember her name? That's right. Or who she is? That's right. Why? I don't know. Well, of course not. If she knew, she wouldn't have amnesia. But why come to me? I thought you might know of a good way to bring back someone's memories. You talk about memories and the brain and all the complicated stuff all the time. Anything you could do to help bring back my memories would be wonderful. And cue Suzuha. Wait, sure. I talked about that stuff a lot, but I'm just an interested amateur. I don't know anything special. I knew how the brain worked and how it was laid out. I knew what amnesia was. But bringing someone's memories back was a different matter. If only you knew people who were specialized in it. Even the latest medical technology would be useless. Unless, of course, you had your memory stored on a system like Amadeus. I see. The girl was visibly disappointed. Then, is there some way you can find out who she is? Kana seemed to be suffering so much. Kana? Luca's father gave me that name. He said I need a name. He says it means temporary. It doesn't sound like a lot of thought went into that. Was that okay? He said since it wasn't going to be used forever, it'd be better this way. I couldn't tell if that was deep or not. Okay, wait, is there anything you could do? If you could at least find out her name. I'd love to help you, but wouldn't it be faster to go to a private investigator? Private investigator? Like a detective agency? Yeah. But even that's going to be rough when with nothing to go on at all. You don't have a wallet or a bag or anything? No, nothing. Nothing? Not necessarily something big, and imagine there has to be at least one thing. There is one thing, but I don't know if it'll help. She slowly took out a handkerchief, as if it was something that was very important to her. Whatever it was inside must have been the one thing she was carrying. May I see it? Yes? No, no! Oh, of all people, probably the worst one. I don't, you know what? No, I'm ending this episode here. I'm going to be that guy and end this episode here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode where this happens. Bye for now.